right, today we're diving deep into a DeFi protocol called GRASS. It's playing in the very exciting and, let's be honest, pretty risky world of liquid staking. You know, the kind of space that dangles these incredible returns in front of you, but it's also absolutely riddled with potential pitfalls. So that leads us to the big question, right? Has GRASS actually built something with staying power, something with real, sustainable value? Or is this just another token hopping on the latest DeFi hype train? That's what we're going to figure out. We'll break down exactly how it works, dig into the very real risks, and figure out what it would actually take for it to succeed in the long run. Okay, so to really get a handle on what GRASS is all about, we've got to start with the core problem they're trying to fix. And trust me, it's a classic headache for anyone who's spent time in DeFi. Just think about it. You find a cool protocol, you decide to stake your crypto, let's say it's your Ethereum, to start earning some nice rewards. Awesome. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. Your assets are now completely locked up. You can't touch them, you can't use them for anything else. That means you're sitting on the sidelines watching other opportunities fly by. Your capital is basically stuck in jail. And that is exactly where this whole idea of liquid staking comes into play. It's a game changer. Instead of your assets being locked away, the protocol hands you back a brand new token, a liquid token. The best way to think about it is like a claim ticket or a receipt for your staked crypto. And just like that, boom, your capital is back in the game, ready to be used. So with that in mind, how does GRASS fit into this picture? Let's take a look at their specific solution for unlocking all that potential and putting your idle crypto back to work. The whole process is actually pretty simple on the surface. You take an asset, like Ethereum, and you deposit it into the GRASS protocol. In exchange, GRASS gives you one of their liquid tokens. This new token is basically a stand-in for your original deposit, and it even includes any rewards you earn along the way. And this right here is the magic of it all. This is the core benefit. Your capital isn't just collecting dust anymore. You can take that shiny new liquid token and put it to work all over again. You can use it for yield farming, you can provide liquidity on decentralized exchanges, in those automated market makers or AMMs, or you can get into even more advanced strategies. The point is, your money is now working for you in 2, 3, maybe even more places at the same time. Okay, this is super important. We need to be crystal clear on what the actual GRASS token is, and maybe even more importantly, what it is not. So what is it? It's a governance token. That means if you hold it, you get a say in how the protocol evolves. It's also used for liquidity incentives, rewards. But here's the big but. It is not a stablecoin. Its value is not pegged to anything, and it absolutely 100% does not guarantee you'll make a profit. You have to understand that. And this quote really nails it. The demand for the GRS token, its actual price, is directly tied to how useful the platform is. Are people actually using the liquid staking product? Are they plugging it into other DeFi strategies? That's what gives it value. It's not based on some empty promise of a guaranteed return. All right, time for a little reality check, because no protocol, especially in DeFi, operates in a bubble. And GRASS is stepping into what is arguably one of the most crowded, most competitive fights in the entire crypto space. So to get the complete picture, we have to look at the challenges and the very real dangers it's facing. Yeah, GRASS isn't just walking into an open field here. It's more like parachuting into a jungle that's already ruled by absolute giants. We're talking about the big names: Lido, Rocket Pool, Frax. These guys are the established players, they're incredibly well-funded, and they already control a huge piece of the market. They have what we call massive network effects, which makes them incredibly tough to compete with. So that forces us to ask some really tough questions. If GRASS wants to have any chance, it can't just be another liquid staking option. It has to be a better one. So does it really offer a superior yield? And can it do that without piling on extra risk? What's its edge? Is it better tech, better security, lower fees? If they don't have a killer answer to that, it's going to be a really, really steep climb to get any kind of real traction. And it's not just about the competition. You've also got the dangers that are just baked into the cake of DeFi itself. I'm talking about things like smart contract risk. One tiny bug, one exploit, and poof, all the funds could be gone. Then there's the risk that the liquid token itself loses its value, if the market loses faith in it. And you always, always have to remember, yield is never guaranteed. Plus, the regulatory hammer could come down at any time. These aren't just minor concerns. These are fundamental existential threats. So, okay, we've weighed the promise of unlocking all this liquidity against the brutal competition and the very real risks. What's the final verdict? What's the path to success actually look like for a protocol like GRASS? Look, for GRASS to be a long-term, sustainable project, and not just another flash in the pan, it basically has to nail these four things. First, it needs widespread user adoption, and I mean real users, not just speculators. Second, its liquid token has to hold its value. It needs to be seen as reliable. Third, you need deep liquidity and trading volume for that token. And finally, its security has to be top tier, totally buttoned up, with audits and full transparency. At the end of the day, you can strip away all the fancy jargon and the promises of crazy high yields. Success in this space really just boils down to a few key things: adoption, liquidity, and security. Are people actually using the thing? Is there enough money flowing through it to work properly? And maybe most importantly of all, can people trust that their funds are safe? And that really leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Will GRASS be overgrown by the competition? It's tackling a real problem in a hot market for sure, but it's facing down some serious giants and a whole lot of risk. Whether it can carve out its own niche and actually thrive, or if it just gets choked out by the big players, well, that's all going to come down to whether its solution is compelling enough to win over real users for the long haul.